You know, for a good energy master plan, what we've been focusing on is 4 key areas: energy efficiency, renewable energy, resiliency, defining what resiliency means to a campus, and how is the campus a steward of all its assets, so a stewardship component. And we think those areas or buckets otherwise help a broader discussion and holistic discussion of not just simply doing a measure to do a measure because we're saving energy, but what's it mean to do that measure, and how do we perpetuate the results of the good work and the money that's spent to do the measure? How do we benefit from that so you're regularly receiving the savings that go along with it? Important part of doing these plans is the level of engagement of the campus itself. So when you have an engaged committee similar to what we have with ESF, we have stakeholders that are already bringing up the ideas. They understand everything that's happening on the campus, and there's key stakeholders that are on the campus that have influence and have ideas of direction that we should be going. So for the consultant to work in that, it's helpful to have all of that shared with you so that you're laying out a document that is going to be beneficial. There's a lot of times that plans are made, and we went through this process, we created it, and we said we done it, checked the box, and we put it on the shelf. And who's implementing it? Who's in charge of it? But when you've got an engaged committee and a team, you're working on stuff collaboratively. You're trying to understand what this document's going to do to impact the other parts of how the campus operates, how it impacts and how it interacts with other plans that the campus is doing. A lot of times it comes down to senior leadership. Do they have the senior leadership backing from the president on down? So it's one thing to have a grassroots group of people who are very interested and aggressive in wanting to do climate-related and energy-related work, right? And then they need the backing of their superiors, hopefully, or the backing of their management to make some of this happen, because it's going to come down to funds and implementation of things. So there's a lot of things, a lot of people to get engaged on it. So a lot of times what we see with energy master plans or climate action plans that might not be successful is when you've gone through the process of planning, you've gone through the effort, you've developed it, and then it doesn't have a champion anymore. And nobody has grabbed onto it and says, I'm in charge of this plan, even though there's a lot of other stakeholders tied to it. Well, one simple way to explain that would be whether it's hitting the triple bottom line of social, economic, and environmental. So if you have a project that's hitting all of those, it's addressing the needs and maybe concerns of multiple different stakeholders. Because you could do a project that might be a very energy efficient project, but maybe it has a very expensive financial side of it that is now draining the operating side or the capital side of a budget. But we felt great about doing this and spending a ton of money. But it's costing us a lot of money to do it too. So, and balancing all that. So I think those types of projects where you can go out and talk about them and present on them as case studies and be able to show your peers what you're doing. You want that kind of recognition. You want to be on that front end of what are we doing that's now and unique and is cutting edge. So I think that's an important part of doing an energy master plan. So you know, there's going to be a driver for it, and it could be something that the state's mandated it, or it could be that the president of a campus has been influenced by the student body, and they're saying, what is my campus doing to be green, and what are we doing to save energy? We're concerned about climate. We're concerned about our impact on the planet, and what is my campus doing about it?